slide. It's an old slide. It's the day before Hokulea was launched, March 8, 1975. On the sacred beach of Kualoa. I was there. My life changing. I grew up, and I would characterize my family as very Hawaiian, but my family, my grandmother, pure Hawaiian, and my father was born in 1924. He was the first generation, and maybe 100, that she chose not to teach language, not to teach culture, not to teach protocol. My grandparents are the most loving grandparents on earth, so she did that out of love. So some would suggest that the obvious, well, that Hawaiian stuff didn't have value in this world, but in many ways I think she did that to protect her children, because it hurt them. Ultimately, that's why I'm saying it was very close to extinction, because that's not the only ground that was doing that. It was really a crossroads of time in that period of time. And now all of a sudden, you have this symbol, 62 feet long, 24 feet wide, fully loaded, 24,000 pounds, powerful, on the beach. And it was the first time I was ever at an Ava ceremony. It's the first time that I saw them do chanting and protocol only in Hawaiian. It was confusing to all of us, and it was all brand new. And this canoe was shifting it. But what this canoe was doing was interesting. It was bringing talented people from around the state together around something that was special. Brilliant people. Just to build the canoe, the engineering and the designing and the calculations and the cultural specialists that came in. And the watermen like Kalakukea and Billy Mitchell. There's thousands of people who are coming together around a vision that is supposed to shift, change. And so in many ways, Herb was the architect of change. And he was bringing together a community that could carry it out. In the 60s, back in 1969, Dream was Oliver's. This was the only man known of Polynesian descent that could navigate alone. And this is 6 years before Hokulea was launched. And Herb sent the team of people from Hawaii down to his island in Santa Cruz. It's actually in Melanesia proper, but it's Polynesian outliers of descent, to find this man by the name of Teovaki. Last known deep sea navigator. You can see that he's elderly. The group went to talk to Teovaki about coming and navigating Hokulea Tahiti. Teovaki listened to them, but as true elders, when less than committed, basically said, well, we'll see. And the group went home without a commitment. And, about 6 months later, Herb received a letter from Teovaki's granddaughter that had Teovaki had a small sailing canoe in an old canoe halau, and one day he got up and said goodbye to his whole family, went on the canoe by himself, and never came back. That is, I was always, never met him, but someone that is committed to knowing the love of the ocean. I've always been inspired as someone that was chosen by someone to teach him the power of navigation, and he chose his life to go to sea the way the navigator would. And that is a true ocean man to me. And but at the same time, the flip side of that inspiration is really the notion of extinction. There are no more. And, that was crushing to the hope of Hokulea. Leadership was considering trying to do it on its own, just in Hawaii. Let's just figure it out on our own. That's kind of the journey going down about not knowing how much you don't know. And, very dangerous. Peace Corps worker by the name of Mike McCoy happened to be in Honolulu when they're having one of those leadership debates about how we're going to navigate the Tahiti. One was saying we're doing it ourselves. And lucky Mike was there. He said, you know, if you want a navigator, there's one right down the road at Kiwala Basin, about 5 miles away. He's living on a ship called the Thompson University research ship, teaching UH scientists how to catch tuna with traditional lures. His name is Mao Piato. From a tiny island called Sakawal. Extraordinary man. At the time in the 70s, he was considered one of 6 of the great masters still left on Earth, and the youngest. So Micronesia certainly is not exempt and immune from the change on the Western world. Mike knew Mao, went to talk to him. They asked Mao if he would navigate to Tahiti. Now, know that the longest voyage he made was only 400 miles. They're asking him to do a voyage 6 times that. He's never crossed the equator underneath southern stars. And yet, Mao said yes. Almost spontaneous, immediate. He would do it. And many say that Mao did that because he's a man of courage and he wanted to challenge. But I would say, knowing him, I think Mao, in many of his levels of being a genius, he understood. The question really wasn't about finding Tahiti. The question was about helping Native Hawaiians find themselves.